So the first speaker tonight is Mike Bocanegra. He's a seasoned investor with 9 years actively finding, negotiating, repositioning income properties in Michigan, Illinois, and Florida. Mike has extensive experience in property renovation, property management, and acquisition analysis. He's been working with his partner and girlfriend, Amy, for the last 8 years. Mike and Amy are both CFRI members. When they aren't working on real estate deals, they're traveling in their RV, and Mike also rides motorcycles and rebuilds them, and Amy's a marathon runner. So presenting the Harmony Crossings apartment deal of the month tonight, please welcome Mike Bocanegra.
Hey, everybody. All right. So, do I get a little? You hit it? All right, cool. Okay, so basically this is the deal that we're working on. It's a 30-unit apartment complex. I've been in residential for quite some time, and then just in the last couple years, I started getting into multifamily. So this was a 30-unit building that we actually bought in Tallahassee, Florida. The unit mix, or what's actually available for rent, there's 10 one-bedrooms, and then there's 22 bedrooms. When we purchased the building, the rents were going for $450 for the one-bedrooms. They're already up to $490 now, and then the two-bedrooms, they were going for $550, and now they're up to $590. The property is actually located in the southwest quadrant in Tallahassee, Florida. It's about a mile from the FSU campus. In Tallahassee, there's actually 3 colleges. There's a community college, FAMU, and then there's also Florida State. From our place, you can actually see the football stadium. And then we're also in the path of progress, where we know stuff is actually moving this way. So here's a picture actually of our building. There's 5 separate sections, and this is basically one section of it, just to show you some of the pictures on it. So the purchase price, the acquisition, we ended up getting the property for $370,000. Our closing costs were $35,000. That was using a hard money lender, so we had a balloon fee, and then also our taxes and insurance. We put $70,000 down just for the acquisition, and then we ended up getting it for $12,300 a door. So when we do apartments, we price everything out by price per door, actually. Debt service on it with the hard money lender, which is actually a CFRI. I met through CFRI. It's $6,500 a month. That's the mortgage payment or debt service, and it's got a 1-year balloon and a 30-year AM schedule. This is a picture of what it looked like before. The bones were in great shape, just needed a facelift, and then this is what it looks like after. So from painting, we redid all the outside, the stairwells and things like that. And then I'll show now the renovation part. We actually broke it down just 2 simple ways. We had labor costs, which was about $97,000, and then our materials was about $102,000. How we did this, we had a good connection with our GC, so I was in charge of all materials. I did all the purchasing to control all our costs, and then he was actually in charge of all the labor side of it. We're about $200,000 or $7,900 a door, and it took us just under 2 months to actually get the renovation done. So we did 25 units in 2 months. You can see, yeah, this is what it looked like before. This was a 1-bedroom on the left-hand side when one of the tenants, when we first got it. And then on the right-hand side, this was a 2-bedroom. So it was pretty bad. And then now this is what it looks like when we were done. So, thanks. So on the left side is a 2-bedroom. Pretty much what we did is anything a tenant would touch, we replaced. So countertops is brand new. The cabinets, a lot of them we could actually redo. The ones you saw before, they weren't fixable. But one of the biggest things we did is a lot of the places they put the VCT tile in the neighborhood, we actually did a porcelain tile. So from negotiating with my materials people and labor, we got a better price, so we get a really big wow factor from the people that are moving in. They don't get how it's that cheap for what we did. And then bathrooms was all done. So our costs on it, it was about $604,000. That was purchase price plus all of our renovation costs. It's already estimated. We got just over $1 million on our estimates. That was from an appraisal that we just had done recently. We're getting ready to do our takeout right now, or our refinance. So we added about $445,000 in equity, and really what we look for is passive cash flow. So the reason I've always liked multifamily is we'll have passive income coming in, and it puts off about $3,200 a month as soon as we're finalized and stabilized. And done. Then just a couple highlights on it. This was actually a local lender that owned it, and the lender actually failed. So when the lender failed, we ended up buying it from the FDIC. So now we actually have really good contacts purchasing stuff from FDIC. Again, we found this was an emerging market. Tallahassee's kind of like where UCF is, where they're building all these A classes. So we're kind of in this path where a lot of the areas are starting to move out towards us. And it was a revitalization zone. About 3 years ago, they redid all the sidewalks and everything. So that was basically it. And then if any questions or anything, I wanted to make sure to give enough time.
Yeah, in the back. What was the time it took to do the whole deal from start to finish?
Yeah, from when I ended up getting it under contract the first time, it was about a month and a half. And then when the small bank failed, then the FDIC, we got it. And then we did a really fast closing. It only took us probably about 3 weeks because we already had our stuff done.
Any other questions? Yes, Joanne? The question is, where did we get the hard money for the renovation costs?
Actually, partners. So a lot of the stuff that we do is we work with people on bigger deals. We can partner with people, so there's enough to go around for everybody. We actually have a partner that we met at CFRI. So we had our own funds, and then we, met a CFRI partner as well too, and just build relationships with people.
Mike, for people that don't know, will you explain what debt service is?
Correct.
Mike, can you explain what debt service is, please?
Yeah, the debt service, when you get in commercial kind of deals, it's a mortgage payment is basically what the debt service is. And the way they do it is with a building, you take your expenses and then you take your annual income, and that gives you your NOI, which kind of gives you your costs before the line, and then your debt service is after it, because you can get creative with financing and things like that, seller financing and stuff like that.
Yes, ma'am. What was the occupancy of the apartment before, and what is it now?
Yep, that's a good question. When we actually purchased it, the occupancy was about 32%, so we only had about 5 tenants. The bones were in great shape, but the bank, in all its wisdom, when we bought it, they actually took the building back, evicted everybody out, kept enough to cover their operating expenses, and then tried selling it like it was full market. So we did that, and within about a month and a half after our renovations, we're already up to about 80% occupancy right now. We've had huge demand for it.
Oh, yes, sir. Go ahead. Last question.
You got a 1-year balloon on it, and you're working on financing that.
Yeah, so Mike, explain the 1-year balloon again and how you're going to pay that off.
Correct. Yeah, the 1-year balloon, we had actually a private lender or a hard money lender, and they actually funded it. So they do a 1-year balloon where they funded me the acquisition. I used the down payment, and then we still have 6 to 8 months. We have about 8 months left on that, but we're already working on the refinance.
What is it that you're looking at on your refinance? You haven't refinanced it yet, but what is the early? What are you trying to get on that?
Yeah, what are you trying to get on the refinance?
Yeah, okay. Yeah, the refinance, it'll go through a regular bank. It's a local bank that we have a relationship with. So they'll end up getting us at a regular rate, say 6%, a long-term kind of thing that we can hold out. And we're already in the process of refinancing it, probably about the next 45 to 60 days. Yeah, they'll usually do like a 30-year AM schedule, maybe a 5 to 7 year balloon, and then about probably 6%.
Okay, if you have any other questions for Mike, why don't you catch him out in the lobby somewhere? We've running out of time. We need to move on, so let me bring up the next speaker.
Cool.
So thank you very
Thanks
much,
for your
Mike.
time, guys. Thank you.